I'm strong. I'm strong. Strong.
All right, guys, we're back. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy CMB checking in. And I'm right again. I told you guys before this fight, I remember I was sitting out on a football field. I was working out that day. I said if Crawford won this fight, they would not want to give him credit for it. They would try everything in their power to discredit him. And that's exactly what they've been doing. They've been on their job. And I told you guys, you need channels like mine and other guys who are calling this mess out to counteract the stuff that they're doing. Because they're paying a huge disservice to the American boxer, to the American boxing fan, always tearing down their best and their brightest when it comes to the sport of boxing. That's what they do. Now, let me get into this article here. Let me pull it up. The title says, "A vulture's feast on Canelo won't make Crawford immortal." A vulture's feast on Canelo won't make Crawford immortal. Let's read some of this. It says here, Terence Crawford says future generations of fans 100 years from now are going to be still talking about him, remembering him for having moved up 3 divisions to defeat Canelo Alvarez. And more than likely, that is true when it comes to the sport of boxing. That's extraordinary what he did, moving up, becoming a undisputed champion in the 3rd weight class, beating a guy who was known as the face of boxing, a guy that he did not have a chance against. What people were saying before the fight, I was saying something different, but a lot of people out there were saying that he's too small, he's too light in the ass. Canelo Alvarez is going to run over Terence Crawford. Now, I want you guys to listen to this here. Listen to this here. This is the hit job that they're doing. It says, the reality is it hasn't. Fans are already forgetting about the win, putting it in perspective due to how washed the 35-year-old Canelo is after 20 years in professional ranks and countless wars against the elite apex predators that Bud Crawford never fought. So here they are, they're trying to diminish the win by saying Canelo Alvarez was washed, which they weren't saying before the fight. And they're talking about all these elite predators that he faced. And here's the thing, Canelo Alvarez, as great as he is, you guys know he's done a lot of cherry picking in his career. Yeah. But Crawford, he's a vulture. So it says here, Crawford's accomplishments was superficial, a less risky fight against a cherry-picked opponent. So now a guy coming up from 154, arguably 147 pounds, cherry-picked a undisputed 168-pound champion who is known as the face of boxing. That's a bunch of bullshit. Terence was wolf-like, spotting a vulnerable Alvarez, then campaigning for the fight. Now, let me say this. Canelo hasn't made any complaints about the fight, so I don't want this to be about him. He hasn't made any complaints. He took his loss like a man. He took his loss like a man. But these American boxing media writers, this stuff is outrageous. This stuff is outrageous. It's absolutely outrageous. Now, who wrote this article? Who wrote this article? This article was written by Chris Williams. Now, who's Chris Williams? Let's just see who Chris Williams is. Chris Williams is a senior writer for Boxing News 24, covering the sport since 2013 and reporting ringside from major events worldwide. That's who wrote this inflammatory article and this hit job on arguably one of the best fighters in our generation, Terence Crawford, trying to diminish his win. And I told you guys this is what they're going to do. And as long as they're doing that, I'm going to be right here counteracting the bullshit. That's what I'm going to do, because it's absolutely despicable what they're doing. Here's a guy who made history. And they're trying to diminish his win, saying people are already forgetting. Nobody's forgetting anything. I'm going to make sure that nobody's forgetting anything. That was greatness personified. This guy is an all-time great, and we're not going to let people like Christopher Williams, or whoever his name is, diminish Bud Crawford's win. We're not going to do it. But I told you guys, that's what they're going to do. And they're still at it. They have no shame whatsoever. No shame. But anyway, you guys let me know how you feel about this bullshit in the comment section. It's the CMB. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. And I'm out. Peace.